So in today's class, we are going to learn about this flush function. Now this is one type of predefined function. So we'll see what actually the use of this function. But before going to learn about this flush function, let us see the problem that we might face when we are reading a character and integer in together. Okay, so to understand this one, I'll take one example where I want to read the integer value and a character value. Right, so we'll see the problem with that. So I'll start with my main function and all. And in the main function, what I want to do is I want to declare a character variable. Let us call that one as C. And I want to take one integer variable as A. So I will be storing a character value in C and an integer value in A. Okay, so first I want to ask the user to enter one character. Enter a character. Okay. So whenever you get this input, the user will be giving an input. So I want to read that in the character variable called C. Okay, the format specifier will be %C and I will be storing that one in our variable called C. Right. After this, what I want to do, I want to read the integer value. So I'll be asking the user and once this is displayed, the user will be giving the input. So I will be storing that one in the A variable. So the format specified for integer is, you all know, that is %D. Now once you read the character value in C and integer value in A, the next thing I want to do is I want to print the values. That's it. I want to see whether the values are successfully stored in those variables or not. So for that, what I want to do is I'll be printing the first integer value, the entered integer value is like that. I want to print, and here I want to display that value. So I will be giving the format specifier and whose value I want to print. I want to print the A value. Similarly, I want to print the character value also. Okay, so the entered character value is. So I want to print the character value. So the format specifier is %C and the value is stored in this variable called C. I hope up to here the program is clear to you all. Right, what we have done? We have declared two variables. One is character variable and one is integer variable, and we are asking the user to enter the character variable value and the integer value, and we are trying to print that one. Up to here it is clear to you all. So what we'll do is, let us save this program, and I want to save this one. Okay, so we have saved. So let us run this program and check. So what it will do, first it will ask you to enter a character. So the character I want to store in a variable C is X. After that, it will be asking the integer value. So the integer value I want to give is 12. Let us consider. Now you can see the output. The entered integer value is 12 and the entered character value is X. I hope up to here the program is working well and there is no problem in this. Right, all of you? Up to here it is right. So to understand it more better, what I'll do is I'll put a slash in here, and again I'll execute and show you. I'll be giving the X as input and I'll be giving 12 as input. Now you can see we got our integer value stored in A and we got our character value stored in X. Up to here it is clear to you all. Right. Now there is a problem. Suppose if we read the integer value first. Observe the difference what I am doing. I am reading the integer value first and then I am reading the character value. Now let us run and see the program whether we can successfully get the output or not. Okay, so the integer value I want to store, a random value I am taking 12, and see here it is not asking us to give, it is not waiting for the user to enter the character value. Did you observe here? It is not accepting any value from the user, and that value is also not printed because it has not accepted anything. So this is the problem that may be encountered whenever we are reading a character value afterwards. So what is the problem behind this one? The problem behind this one is See, whenever you are entering your, let me show you the output once again. Whenever you are entering the integer value input, according to our program, we have to give the integer value first. So 12 is given. After giving 12, what we are doing? We are pressing our enter button. Isn't it or not? Now, whenever you are pressing the enter button, what happens? This enter button is also considered as a character, and that will be stored in an input buffer. Keyboard will be having one buffer, okay, and in that buffer the character whatever you are going to you are giving as an enter key, that will be stored. Now whenever a character is requested by the compiler here, in this case, are you seeing, whenever you are asking a character, then in that case what happens, the compiler will get the input from the input buffer. If anything is there in the input buffer, it will be taking from there. So that's why it is taking that enter button into that C variable, and it is not waiting for the user to enter any new character. So you want to give X. So that's why it is not waiting for that one. What is the reason behind that? That already in C, the enter character, whatever is stored in the input buffer, has been taken by the compiler and stored in C. That's why it is not waiting for the user to give one more input. It is not asking for the one more input because it is already given has one input. That is what it is happening. So whenever you are clicking the enter button, that value will be stored in here. So it will be not asking any new value, and that input will be displayed. But if you want to have an option of you want to give the value, then what you need to do is, in whatever input buffer the character enter will be stored, no, we need to empty that buffer so that there will not be anything in that buffer, and it has to ask the user, it has to wait for the user to enter the input, right? So to do that task, we need to use this fflush function. Got it all of you? What is the use of this fflush function? I'll write down the thing here. Fflush function is used to, this is used, note down all of you, this is used to clear the, or you can also say clear or flush out the data stored in the buffer. Understood all of you what I'm saying? So this is used to clear or flush out the data that is stored in the buffer. Now to do this one, what is the syntax we can use? We can use the function which is called as fflush function. So the function that can be used is fflush. Now whenever you want to use this fflush function, we need to include a header file. And the header file that we need to use is stdlib.h. You know printf and scanf, if you want, you need to use stdio.h, which is called a standard input output. Similarly, fflush is a predefined function. Okay. And if you want to use that function, you need to include stdlib.h, standard library functions. .h. Okay. Now, whenever you want to use this fflush, I'll give you one example. Suppose if you want to flush out the contents or the flush out of the data of the buffer which is storing the input, that is input buffer, if you want to flush out the data, then in that case you need to write fflush stdin. So whenever you are writing fflush stdin, it is nothing but you are removing or you are clearing out the data in the buffer, input buffer. Sometimes you want to flush out the data which is storing the output data also. Sometimes the output data is also stored in the some buffer. And if you want to do that one, you need to use fflush stdout. So these things can be done. So okay, understood all of you? So using fflush, we can clear out the buffer. We can clear out the content that is stored in the buffer. Now let us go back to our program. Now, how can we solve our problem? So we have encountered this problem of not accepting any character, right? To solve this problem, what we can do is, so after reading the integer value, because we are clicking the enter button and that enter button is stored in the buffer, we want to clear the contents in that buffer. So what you need to do? Simply use that syntax of fflush and write stdin, because input buffer only we want to store, right? So you write like this. Now, whenever you want to use stdin or whenever you want to use fflush, I told you, you need to include a header file called hash include stdlib.h. Header file is required to be included. Right? Now, once, then what happens? You can use fflush. So after clicking after entering the a value and clicking the enter button, the buffer will be emptied and it will be accepting a new character from the user, and you will be getting both the outputs. Right? Let us see the output and check whether we are successful in reading the character value or not. So what it has to do? It has to first read the integer value. So it is asking some integer value. I am giving 15. Now you can see it is waiting for a character to be given by the user. So the character I want to give is, yes, let us consider y. Because earlier we have not emptied our buffer, that's why it has taken the enter button as the input. Now we have emptied the buffer by using fflush. So nothing is there in the buffer, so the compiler can't take any input. So it is requesting the user to enter the input. Right? Now if you see, you are getting both the output like integer value and you are getting the character value. Got it, all of you? So this is how fflush function can be used to clear the data or to see the problem, this sort of problem, whatever we have observed earlier, will be possible only with the characters. Right? Because all the symbols or all the special symbols we have on the keyboard will be considered as characters only. That's why they will be stored in the buffer, and that will be taken as an input by the compiler to store in a character variable. So that we can solve successfully by using this fflush function. Right? So I hope this concept is clear to you all.